Hello, my name is Erdem from Boys Garage. Today I'm gonna show you how to replace a head gasket in Sebring 2.7. Here we have a 2002 Sebring. The customer said this car had an overheating issue. First I thought it was a thermostat problem. However, then I noticed that water boils in the overflow tank, not only when it's hot, but also when it's cold. The coolant hose smells like there's a pressure in it. This is a symptom of exhaust gases escaping the coolant system. This happens when a head gasket is blown or there's a crack in heads or in the block. In either case, we have to remove the cylinder heads. First things first, disconnect the battery ground. Flush the coolant and then remove the bolts. Take the air filter housing out, then remove the intake manifold. There should be 6 or 7 Torx head bolts securing it in position. Second, you need to remove the cam position sensor located on left cylinder bank. Now comes the fun part. We will remove the harmonic balancer, and in order to remove it, we first need to lift the car up and remove the right front wheel. But first, loosen the lug nuts before lifting the car. Lift the car. Secure the car on a jack stand. And remove the wheel. Place the wheels under the car as a secondary safety measure. Harmonic wheel bolt is visible under the wheel arc. Because this is an automatic car and there is no easy solution to lock the flywheel, you will need impact gun to remove this bolt. However, if you don't have one, don't worry. I'm gonna show you a very practical way to remove it. First, remove your fuel pump relay and reconnect battery. Then decide which way the engine turns by cranking it. Afterwards, place a breaker bar onto the 22 mm center bolt and support it against the direction of the rotation. In my case, engine cranks clockwise, so I put the handle of the breaker bar on the ground. You can also support it using the car chassis. Now crank the engine once or twice. Bolt should come loose easily. Take the center bolt out. Instead, put a metal insert to be used as a support for the puller. It should be about 7 centimeters long and 1 centimeter in diameter. Position the puller on harmonic balancer and pull the balancer out. In order to remove engine mount, first put a jack stand under the engine. Lift the engine with a jack just a little enough to take the weight of the engine off the mount. Now timing cover can be removed after we remove the engine mount. On the 3 bolts visible above and 2 studs hidden on the left side. On the 2 bolts securing washer fluid bottle in order to have room to remove engine mount. My engine mount doesn't seem in good condition, so I will replace it. Now, you need to unbolt power steering pump bracket in order to remove chain tensioner. Power steering bracket is held in place with 3 bolts, 2 in the rear, 1 in the passenger side of the engine. Remove valve cover for easier access. You will see 2 bolts there. Undo these bolts. Once you remove the power steering pump bracket, you will have access to primary tensioner retaining cap. But before you remove the tensioner cap, you will need to make a final measurement to evaluate the health of the timing system. Put a mark on primary chain tensioner piston bottom. You will measure the extrusion distance using this mark once you get the tensioner out. For a newly installed fresh timing components, this distance should be between 0.75 and 0.95 inches measured from the top. It's marked in black on the picture. There's an indicator groove at the bottom. You should replace timing chain and guides if you reach there. Looking at the red mark, we can conclude that ours have passed almost 2/3 of its life. Now we can remove the chain and guides, which are the only components holding heads and block together. Remove tensioner and then remove the timing cover. Remove chain guide access plug. Unbolt chain guide top studs and camshaft sprockets. Unbolt chain guide bottom bolts and remove left and right chain guides working from bottom. I forgot to film it, but don't forget the shorter chain guides at the inner sides because they also held the head and the block together. If you forget to do so, you will probably break one or two trying to separate heads off. Now separate exhaust manifolds from catalytic converters. There's 4 bolts for each. Remove cams as a single unit. Now the only thing that holds heads in place is these three bolts and the head bolts. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask it in comments.